This summer, bringing you the greatest story ever told in the Star Trek Next Generation community. Written by none other than Knight Sinclair on Twitch TV. For the community, by the community, with them by her side in the chat room. With that said, let's jump into this great tale. None other than Geordi La Forge. Love is Blind. Trekking where no Trekkie has ever gone before. Forging new stories and making new friends and love across the galaxy, universe, and beyond. With that said, strap in, get ready, and enjoy the greatest adventure ever told. It's a late night in the engine room. Geordi wafts the Dr. Pepper in his wine glass. Some may think this is weird, but it was passed down from generations of the Forges. He takes a sip, lost in his own thoughts. He is too hasty, putting the cup to his lips, and spilt it on his uniform. As he looks up, Riker appears from the shadows, almost like a night walker. Alien race from the planet Renduthu. If that sounds interesting, you should read my other fanfiction. I'm sure you would like it. Please also check my Patreon, AlienFucker54. Riker lifts his right leg like a swan upon the engine room main panel, his crotch heaving against his face. He glances at him, noticing his bulging crotch. The sight sends a small shiver coursing down the shaft of his member. Riker likes to call his member Jizliz and makes point to tell everyone on their first meeting. Riker pauses and looks deeply into Geordi's visor.
You really should be more careful. I would have licked that Dr. Pepper straight off your uniform. But I hate Dr. Pepper. I don't want to talk about it, not since the incident.
Riker looks solemnly into the glow of the engine. Cue flashback. Riker was enjoying his favorite beverage, Dr. Pepper, while his ex was speaking to him. His ex's name, Bako Rambe, who is not all related to my ex of the author. I fucking hate him. I really hope you are reading this, you piece of shit. Thanks for nothing. Who changes their name after Harambe dies just for meme? His ex shouted. Why can't you be as delicious and sensual as the smooth, crisp taste of Dr. Pepper? I'm leaving you for the alien race that has the scent that is not as different as Dr. Pepper. Bako Harambe paused and then said, Raging Crombat is waiting, and he has one of those weird alien dick that I like. Cut back to reality. Riker is now convulsing on the floor. Geordi waits a while because he can't help himself enjoying the view. Finally, he snaps out of the luscious gaze and hurries to help. Riker, exasperated, gasped,
Thirsty. So thirsty.
Geordi wishes he was thirsty for something else, but hurriedly gives him his Dr. Pepper to satiate him. Riker drinks it down hurriedly, almost chokes with tears running down his face and chest. No one has managed to make drink Dr. Pepper. You are truly a special person in my life. Suddenly, Ensign Fatima burst into the engine room, shouting, Red alert, while making wee-woo, wee-woo. Most people, one board, feel sorry for him. All high-level personnel are now required into the captain's office of love. Captain Picard has renamed his office because of recent night in Bali on Earth. He has pictures to prove it. For hand-drawn images of Picard's night, you can also get this on my Patreon. Act 2. Riker and Geordi enter the office of the Love to the sight of Picard slapping Wesley in the face. Wesley often earned this. Act 3. Picard, with a glowing smile on his face, welcomes the two. Hello, number one, and the blind one with the magic eyes. Geordi and Riker look at each other like it is an 80s police sitcom, with the kind of face that is like, get a load of this guy. Troy is crouching in the corner behind Picard's prized animal, Carcass, that he killed in Bali. She whispers, I sense lustful emotions in the room. Again, Riker and Geordi look at each other, but this time, it's like a 90s buddy cop movie. Troy then shouts out, I'm Big Dick! Respect my moose knuckle! The others just filter this out as she says this on the regular. She scuttles away to be a disturbance somewhere else because she is a shit character and I hate her. Maybe as a person she is okay, but I don't like her character. Captain Picard sighs. Thank God she's gone. I always hated her. The rest of the crew nods in approval. Picard then looks at his statue of Mothman as he drew his breath. Now that you're all here, it's not really a red alert. Tricked you. We're going an excursion where all desires will. He paused for an awkwardly long time, probably about 10 minutes. Come true. Data then remarks, this is actually pretty irresponsible of you. Red alert should be used for emergency situations only. The weird thing was, he was looking at Geordi the whole time. Shut the fuck up, Picard said. Are you coming, you little fuck? I need my robo-boy. Petrogonix, the newly assigned security officer, remarked back at Picard, you should treat him with respect. A laser quickly destroys Petrogonix. Picard opens his arms and shouts, any of you motherfuckers have anything else to say? He was an evil alien, by the way. I saved you all. Thank me later. Picard often used this excuse to kill his staff crew when reporting to Earth. Act 3.1, Fantasy, Come Island. Hurry up, you grease these thighs, robo-boy, Picard shouted on a beautiful beach in the Caribbean. While he was wearing a grass skirt and coconut bra, Geordi sat with Riker in the distance on reclining beach chairs. Geordi liked the feeling of sand in between his toes. It was coarse and dry like Riker's beard. Geordi looks back over at Picard. Data is now rubbing lotion into his back while he lightly weeps. Data's face is nothing but disdain. Suddenly, an eruption from the shallows of the water erupts. A dolphin's head emerges from the sea and slowly reveals the body of a 6-foot-tall ripped man. He could be an Instagram fit model that sells skinny tea. Data, for the second time in his robot file, feels a tingle. Not just any tingle. The tingle you get when you get drunk from an alien disease from when you have sex with Tashar Yar. This should have never happened. You can't have a whole episode with the cast gets drunk. If it's the second episode, they're not established characters yet. Data then proceeds to fuck the dolphin. The dolphin man whispers into his synapses, remember my legacy. My name is Dan the Dolphin Lord. I'm not long for this world. He then disintegrates. Adatus' lustful arms is lost forever in time in love. Data weeps his first tears. Riker and Geordi once again look at each other like a buddy cop movie now in the early 2000s, where most of these movies fucking sucked and were way too edgy, not like lighthearted. Geordi looks deep into Riker's eyes. We should get out of here somewhere a little more private, a little more quiet, a little bit more moist, Riker replied. I thought you would never ask, you magical blind boy. As they held hands and left to the closest cave, a large muscular man stops them. Nova Beam _23. Hello, I'm the master of the domain Fantasy Come Island. This is not the holodeck you thought it was. This place is cursed. It is my sex trap. If you want to leave, you'll have to have the best sex you've had in your life, or you'll be stuck here forever with weird dolphin men. Riker caressed Geordi's thigh. This will be easy. Geordi liked how assertive Riker was. He let him lead as Geordi was natural beta. Act 4. The Moist Cave. It was dark and moist, emphasis on the moist. Riker pulled out his space lighter and put it in the middle of the cavern. I hope this is one of many caverns I get to explore tonight. Geordi begins to take off his uniform. Dr. Smells wafts out. He knows what Riker likes. Riker shakes his head and says, "Don't be silly. Let me do that for you." Geordi, being the beta cuck he is, lets him undress him. A sharp, loud, unintelligible, conversed comes from the distance deep within the cavern. "What was that?" Geordi shuddered. Riker continued, not paying any heed. "Vibes, energy, emotions," echoes, now louder in the cave. Suddenly you heard, Geordi remarked. Suddenly a cure-haired woman unlatches from the ceiling and falls into the two, grabs them both by the faces. "I'd gladly drag my balls through 5 miles of broken glass just to get the chance to bend you over and disappoint yous in many ways." Big D was mistaken. Geordi and Riker were deeply in love and fucking sick of Troy, because she was a terrible character with big moose knuckles that should have never been part of the next generation, the greatest narrative since War and Peace. Suddenly, Picard appears from the entrance of the cavern and shoots Troy essentially. "Save you again!" Troy was an evil alien like the rest of the crew that I murdered. Everyone in succession said, "Oh, you Picard." Then, the all proceeded to fuck and moan in unison. Aurora. Which was how future people moaned. Act 5. Scene change. They are now in a restaurant on the planet that only has fast food restaurants. It's not like Douglas Adams. Whoa! That orgy was really unexpected. I'm glad we got ourselves off Fantasy Come Island with that big cum, Picard shouted proudly to his crew. "I'd like to request to be on always missions now." Geordi laughed to himself while rubbing Riker on the shoulder. Suddenly, Dan the Dolphin Lord burst in, clutching his swollen belly. "Data, I'm preggers with your weird fuck-up babies." Close up, all their faces. "It now happened. I know this is writing, but imagine it is really cool." Data once again cries for the second time in his life. "Forgive my synapses. This is something I never thought would happen. I request to go live my life with Dan, the Dolphin Lord, our fucked baby. Goodbye, my friend and Picard." Picard then shot them all and said, "Evil alien races, all of them. Till next time, alien fuckers."